And you know what, Edmund? Snitches get stitches. Put your hair up, you filthy animal. But you know, hey, when in Narnia, surprise 24-hour-a-thon! So it's gonna be a good time. And welcome to Vlogmas week number 3. So this week it is going to be like a themed Vlogmas, which I think is going to be really fun, and the theme is stepping into Narnia. Also, side note, I'm recording this in the parking lot of a grocery store and people are staring. But anyways, this week is going to be really fun because I will be reading, or hopefully reading, the entirety of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which was one of my very favorite books when I was a little kid. So the reason we are at a grocery store is because I need to pick up supplies to make snowball cookies, because that's what we're gonna do. We're going to bake snowball cookies today. If you've never had a snowball cookie, it literally looks like a snowball. It's like a cookie that has been dunked in powdered sugar. It's amazing. So we gotta go and get all of that stuff and then go home. Also, I'm really craving Thai food, so you probably won't see that, but just as a side note, I'm hungry. But anyways, yeah, so we'll be doing snowball cookies, reading Chronicles of Narnia, and then I actually placed a very large order for online Turkish delight made from Turkey. It's authentic. I got like 5 different flavors. I'm gonna have like a little bit of a Turkish delight mukbang. Am I saying that word right? Mukbang? I don't know, like the thing where you eat and like talk and chat. So I'm really excited to try all of those different flavors and pretend to be Edmund for a hot second. It's gonna be a really chill vlog, just finishing up the Chronicles of Narnia, baking, eating candy, pretend that I'm chatting with Mr. Tumnus and be like, hey. Anyways, I'm also still currently reading The Starless Sea. I only have 4 hours left, so I'm kind of at the very last part of it. And I'm excited to finish it and then tell you all my thoughts. It's very whimsical. Ironically, they just mentioned Narnia. Like, part of this book is they go through a wardrobe actually, and they reference Narnia, which I think is totally full circle. I don't know how I'm gonna rank it. I like it, it's beautiful, but I still don't understand the plot. So I'll let you know how I feel at the very end. Okay, I think that is it for my update. I'm gonna go get the stuff and then let's go home and get to baking. Hello everyone and welcome back. We are in my kitchen. It sounds like there is gonna be a leaf blower, but we're just gonna roll with it because I need to bake these cookies. Literally, is there gonna be a leaf blower? Yeah, I'm just gonna accept it now. Okay, so before we get started, I wasn't kidding about food. So I'm just gonna go ahead and order my lunch because I'm so hungry. I think I want like pad thai and a coconut soup, so let's see if that is an option. Okay, so I just ordered my lunch. Very excited. So I'm gonna try to beat my lunch with the, wait, what? I'm gonna try to bake these cookies before I get my lunch. There we go. I also changed from my incredibly cozy, warm Christmas white sweater to this because that sweater has like little fuzzies on it, and I was like, I don't want fuzzies in my snowball cookies. So if you've never had a snowball cookie, you are kind of missing out. This cookie has like a lot of different names. It's called a Mexican wedding cake cookie, an Italian wedding cake cookie. It's also called a Russian tea cake. There's lots and lots of different names. I grew up eating these. My grandma makes them every single year. I am just using a recipe I found online because I don't know my grandmother's recipe. I have it somewhere, but I couldn't find it. So I will link down below the recipe that I use if you want to make the same cookies that I am making. This cookie is really cool because the cookie itself has the consistency of a cookie. However, it's not sweet at all. All of the sweetness comes from the powdered sugar. I don't know why, but I just think that's so cool. It's like a cookie that's not sweet and then it's just dunked in sugar, and it is the best time ever. I kind of wanted to make these for the Narnia vlog because Edmund is in the snow, and I don't know, there's something about this cookie that reminds me of like a winter wonderland. So it's gonna be a good time. Having said that, I've never made this recipe from like this specific recipe. It's from All Recipes. So cross your fingers because it's a little bit of a gamble when you try. Okay, step number 1, preheat the oven to 350. Done. Step number 2, put your hair up, you filthy animal. Oh, that is just so styling. So step number 2, the real step number 2. Cream the butter with half of a cup of the confectioner sugar and the vanilla. I panicked. I was like, confectioner sugar? What is that? It's powdered sugar. Confectioner sugar is powdered sugar. I don't know why they have to throw the fancy word on it. Also, I know someone will tell me in the comments, so thank you in advance. So anyways, we're gonna cream the butter with half of a cup of the confectioner sugar and the vanilla, mix in the flour, pecans, and salt. I think the preemptive thing though is I have to measure out the nuts, because this has nuts. If you have a nut allergy, I don't actually think it needs nuts. It just kind of gives it like a nuttier, earthy flavor. You could totally skip this. I got walnuts. I think this traditionally either does walnuts or pecans. So I think actually I have to do like a little chop of these and kind of figure out how many I have. So let me do that first. Also, the butter is so important for cookies. Like, what's going on with the butter? Does it need to be cold, room temperature? Like, what is happening? It doesn't say. If you're creaming the butter, it's not melted, but is it room temperature? We're off to a great start. So this is 1 cup chopped pecans, or in my case, walnuts. Lovely. Do you guys ever watch Jennifer Gardner's, I think it's called The Pretend or The Fake Cooking Show on Instagram? I am obsessed with Jennifer Gardner. Her energy is everything I aspire to be. Basically, she's just like one big dad pun, and it is my type of humor, let me tell you. I follow her Pretend cooking show religiously. Every time she bakes a bagel or bread, I'm like, why am I not baking along with her? And actually, I really want to do something like that on my Instagram, but also kind of my channel. But the problem is I have no idea how to incorporate books into that equation. So if you have any ideas for how to incorporate books with baking, hit your girl up. But anyways, if you have not, oh, that's threatening. If you have not seen Jennifer Gardner's Pretend or Fake Cooking Show, it is hilarious. Let me just tell you, I really like her energy. She's such a, you can tell she's like genuinely a really nice person. I feel like we should all aspire to be Jennifer Gardner baking bread. You know, this doesn't say if it's supposed to be finely chopped or roughly chopped. I'm stressing out. I've made these before, but it's been years. Like, I think the last time I made this, I think I was in high school. I think though this is supposed to be kind of fine, because I don't think you're supposed to like bite into chunks of nuts. Let's move on. My oven's ready. Okay, I'm just gonna finish this up and then I will come back, because this is 8 minutes of me chopping nuts. Okay, after like an hour, I have chopped the nuts. I will say that I don't think it's consistent at all. I got this to cream the butter with the powdered sugar, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour out the powdered sugar, and then let's get to shaking. I love powdered sugar. There's just something about it that reminds me of snow. Actually, the first time I tried snow, I was really depressed because I thought it would taste like sugar, and you know what it tastes like? Dirty ice. Where are we at? That's a little more. You know what's funny is, like, before I would put all of this like aesthetic music to my baking, and people were like, oh, you were just like born to be a baker. And now you know the truth, like, because it is a mess. Just so you are, if there's a song. Ah! It was on. So we've got, let me just make sure. So we've got cream the butter, half of the confectioner sugar, and the vanilla. Where's the vanilla? Yeah. I mean, like, it's looking weird. You know, I thought like an idiot, oh, I'll get this done before my lunch. No. Okay, next we are going to add 2.5 cups of flour to this. I think that I'm gonna have to start like kneading this with my hands. That's my food! Oh no, that's my food. Okay, I'll be back. Thank you so much. Oh, you guys are, I love your eyelashes. Thank you too. Okay, look, I know they're not cookies, but if you've never had pad thai, you are missing out, my friend. I'm just gonna go ahead and like put them into little ball shapes because the dough is all ready. This is what my dough looks like. It's kind of crumbly. I think it's kind of, that's how it is with like butter cookies like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put everything in little shape, heat them up, and then I will get back to you. everyone. So the snowball cookies are basically done. These cookies though, I kind of wanted to like walk through the final step, because what you do when they come out is you actually roll them in powdered sugar as soon as they're out and they're hot from the oven. And then once they cool, you actually re-roll them in powdered sugar. It's sort of like, we want an initial stick and then we want it drenched in sugar. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and roll these one more time in powdered sugar in about, I'm gonna say probably 15 minutes, because I want them to fully cool down. But I will say this, if you like buttery types of cookies, if you like shortbread cookies, it doesn't taste exactly like a shortbread. You know how like shortbread cookies just kind of taste flaky and doughy and buttery? That's what these taste like, except I think they taste even better because they are dripping in powdered sugar. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for a really fun cookie around the holidays, highly recommend this. I would say without a doubt, this is probably the best cookie I've made on my channel. I think they would make my grandma proud. So I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna make myself a nice cup of hot cocoa, and I'm gonna I know what you're thinking at home. My God, this girl lives on sugar. But I'm going to make myself a nice hot cup of cocoa, grab a snowball or two, and we, my friends, are gonna start reading the Chronicles of Narnia. It's gonna be a whimsical time.
Come joining us all, the feeling is here today. Come on now, let's go, caroling through the snow all day. We've been good, but we can last. Hurry Christmas, hurry now. Wait to see what's under the Christmas tree for you and me. Oh, little bear toys that cuddle and woo, dinosaurs, boats, and kitty cats too. Santa Claus is coming. I know that Santa Claus is coming.
Hello everyone, just a little bit of an update. I'm on page 80 of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. This is a really easy book to kind of read quickly because it's such an engaging story and there are also illustrations. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a lot later. I made myself a second cup of tea. This one is pomegranate tea and it is one of the best things I've ever tasted. This is from David's Tea's 24-hour, or not 24-hour, 24 advent calendar tea countdown, and it's so good. I think I might watch maybe a little bit of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe tonight while I'm eating my soup. And I'm just gonna continue to read this. I do think at some point tonight I'm also gonna switch over and listen to the Starless Sea on audiobook while I knit. I can't really make anything. I just make blobs of fabric. However, knitting is so incredibly like therapeutic and relaxing for me. So one of my favorite things is just to knit blobs while listening to different audiobooks. So I'm definitely gonna do that tonight too. But yeah, I think I'm actually gonna watch the movie for this tonight just because that seems so cozy. Eat some soup and knit a little bit and continue to read this and then read a little bit of the Starless Sea. It's just been a really nice day. Like, eating the cookies and drinking tea. It feels like, I think, the most cozy day in December by far. I hope wherever you are feeling nice and warm and cozy as well. It looks like it's gonna snow actually, but I think that's it for now. I'm gonna go get my soup.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for days of old lang syne. And here's a hand, my trusty friend, and here's a hand of thine. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne.
Hello everyone, it is the next day. So today is Friday and it is around 1 o'clock, I want to say. Last night I made some progress on the Starless Sea. Now I think I only have 2.5 hours on the audiobook, so I have a feeling I'm going to finish it today. And that got me thinking, you know what I think I'm gonna do? Surprise 24-hour-a-thon! And that'll be perfect because I'm on page 80 of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which means I think that I can actually finish this today. So my goal is to finish The Starless Sea and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And then if I finish those, I have a whole stack to go through. I thought though, to kick things off, we would finally try the Turkish delight. I am so incredibly excited. I have wanted to try authentic Turkish delight my entire life. I actually have had Turkish delight, but it was like the American version, I think, and like I didn't necessarily love it, but it wasn't authentic. I actually think that I will like Turkish delight, even though I've tried it and I didn't like that kind because that kind wasn't authentic. Does that make sense? But I ordered real Turkish delight, so I thought be like a fun way to kind of kick things off with trying the Turkish delight and then going back to reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Also, I will be chilling all day long today in this incredible onesie. Like, I am just gonna be as snuggly and comfortable as possible. It's gonna be a cuddle up and read day. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not baking. I'm not... What else do I normally do? All I'm doing is reading and eating. And speaking of eating, let's go try some Turkish delight. Hello, yes, we are in Narnia now. How did we get into Narnia so quickly? I have magical powers. Are you a survive? So anyways, let me show you the Turkish delight in all of its glory. So we're gonna find out exactly what this candy is that Edmund famously sold his entire family out for. Do I think that this candy is going to be so good that I would sell my own family out for? No, I don't. And you know what, Edmund? Snitches get stitches. Let me kind of tell you the types that I got. So this kind right here, that one is pomegranate. This one is rose. I have no idea what these are, but they were like in this assortment. And then these ones right here are pistachio. I think I'm gonna try the pomegranate one first, which is this one, which in my opinion is the one that looks the most like the Turkish delight that Edmund tried. I am very nervous. They actually kind of look a little bit like the snowball cookies that I made. Okay, here we go. They're not bad. So the inside looks kind of like this. It kind of just tastes like almost dates. It's not, it's supposed to be pomegranate. I'm not tasting a ton of pomegranate, but it's not bad. It tastes kind of like a date jelly with powdered sugar. Something's crunchy. Okay, I would give the pomegranate maybe like a 6 out of 10. Okay, now let's try the rose. I've heard that the rose type has like a very, very pungent taste. I don't know if I've ever had candy that tastes like a flower before, but you know, hey, when in Narnia. So I could see how if you grew up with that candy, you would like it, because again, it does not taste like the Turkish delight that I tried. The Turkish delight that I tried is cursed, okay? But like that Turkish delight doesn't taste that. It's just, I can tell it's an acquired taste. I think you would have to grow up with that flavor to really appreciate it. Rose in food is kind of weird. It almost tastes like the aftertaste tastes almost like perfume. I'd give that one like a 4 out of 10. I have no idea what this thing is. Okay, it looks like it has pistachios in it. This is what we're working with. It looks like a marshmallow. Smells kind of like a marshmallow. What is that? What is that? What are you? It smells and feels and sort of tastes like a marshmallow, but like a really, 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 really thick marshmallow. Like it's not fluffy at all. I don't understand it. I would say that one is like a 3 out of 10. I would say it's like not bad, but it's even lower than the rose. This one kind of looks like the exact same consistency. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of looks like sushi. I don't know what it's pistachio. Let's see. I'm telling you, it tastes like a marshmallow, but with nuts. So far, I would say this one's my favorite. I think this was a 6. But this one, I would say solid 5. If I was at a party, I would eat both of those things. Then we've got this thing, which I'm gonna be honest, it looks like salami. It smells sweet, but it doesn't really smell like a specific thing. I can tell though it has nuts. That must be something that a lot of Turkish delight has, is nuts. So here we go. So this one has nuts and it's sweet, but I don't really know the flavor. It's hard to explain. It does have a flavor, but I can't like explain what it is, but I think it's good actually. I would say that this is another 5. This one is rose petals, which is very interesting and super unique. It smells beautiful. It tastes like a salad. 5 out of 10. This one you can clearly see the nuts, I think, right? So I think this one is like gonna be the most gelatiny. This tastes like lemon. It's like it has like a lemon flavor in the jello, but also there's like a kick to the back of my throat, so I feel like there's like a spice in this or something. Ooh, that is cool. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10 too. This one might be higher than pomegranate actually. I'm surprised. I really like this one a lot. Okay, so then we have this one. That might be toasted coconuts, which is really, really cool. Ooh. This is my favorite one. I think it's still a 6, but it's like a 6.5. There's something about like the lemon with the nuts, with like the toasted coconuts. It tastes really good. Okay, and then the final one is this one, which is covered in, almost looks like a berry or something. So this one might be my favorite, which is really surprising. They are kind of like cranberries. What's really interesting is they're really, really tart, which balances a lot of the sweet. So this is my favorite. This is more similar to something that I would like because I really happen to love like sour things, and all around it's a little bit tangy and soury, but the inside is sweet. This is the winner. Oh my God. This is so good. Well, who knew? I'm obsessed with Turkish delight. Oh my God, this stuff is my Okay, that's it. That was so much fun. I really genuinely felt like Edmund actually. I don't know. I've just made all of my 8-year-old fantasies come true. I think I'm gonna get back into my onesie and read more of the Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh, how I wish for the Christmases of old, where the snow would fall and the air was crisp and cold, where we heard of angels up on high while building Frosty the Snowman until late outside. Oh, how I wish for the Christmases of old, when all was right and the candlelight would glow, where we used to play in the wintry wonderland, and we hear carols sung from Rudolph's marching
10 out of 10 would recommend doing this. If you are stressed around the holidays or you are overworked, please give yourself a stress-free 24-hour-a-thon where all you do is read wintry, cute books and eat cookies and drink warm drinks while in a onesie. This onesie has a hood and like it's really cold outside right now and it's freezing inside, so this is keeping me so incredibly warm. Genuinely, this is one of the best days I've had all year long. Get yourself a onesie and do a 24-hour-a-thon. Trust me. Hello everyone, a little bit of an update. I have finished my very first book, which is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I'm so happy. This is such a fast read. I don't think I realized how short of a book this is. This is 189 pages, but it also has illustrations. But now the question is, what do I start with next? Because I want to finish The Starless Sea, but I don't feel like listening to the audiobook just yet. So I'm really leaning towards either The Snow Child, which is a book about a couple who makes like a snow child out of snow, kind of like a snowman, and then the snow child comes to life. Or I'm really leaning towards Castle in the Clouds, which is about a European hotel and kind of like the adventures that this girl Sophie gets into at this hotel. I think I'm gonna read like a little bit of the first chapter of each book, and then I will let you know which one I'm going to read for the remainder of tonight. Okay, so I'm gonna try like a chapter of all of the books, and then I will let you know what book I have decided on. Okay. Hello, I am so sorry, I forgot to update you. I ended up reading the first chapter of both books, but going with this one, The Castle in the Clouds. I'm on chapter 5, so I've been reading for quite a while. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I'll kind of end the vlog sort of right now, for tonight anyways. So I guess I will see you in the morning. Bye. Yes, we need the caffeine today. Hello friends, it is the end of the 24-hour-a-thon. I've got my coffee right here, and I'm excited to give you my last check-in of the vlogmas. So this morning I ended up finishing The Starless Sea. I kind of wanted just to spend the morning super lazy and not worry about vlogging or anything, so I had breakfast in bed. I listened to Taylor Swift's new album for like the 1000th time. Love it so much. And then I finished The Starless Sea. But anyways, I thought I would kind of update you on how much I read over the week and also over the course of the 24-hour-a-thon, and then end out the vlog. So the very first book, of course, I read was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. This book just reminds me of my childhood, and reading it was so wonderful. It felt so nostalgic and comforting. If you have never read this, I highly, highly recommend it. It's also just such a fast read. I just didn't realize how quickly I would read this. So highly, highly recommend. Of course, this is a 5 out of 5. Next, I finished The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. So I have to say, I feel like there's a little bit of a misconception about what this book is about. I went into this book thinking that this was a full-fledged sort of like adult fantasy, but I have to tell you, if you're thinking of picking this up, this is really a lot different than that. It's not really a straightforward plot. I thought this was going to be about a boy who goes into another world, and we kind of see the beauty and glory of all of the world, and the honest truth is, this reads more like a mosaic. It reads like broken bits of stories, and you as the reader are trying to piece together all of the stories to make it make sense. And sort of like a mosaic, if you look at different parts of the story, you were just very lost, but then at the very end, things sort of come together. I was actually really surprised at how experimental the writing is. I think that this is pretty different than The Night Circus. It's almost like poetry itself. You know how when you're reading a poem, it's beautiful and lyrical, but it doesn't always make sense, and a poem doesn't need to make sense. It really conveys more of a feeling than a story, and I feel like that's what this does. This conveys a feeling, and the feeling is sort of like an ode to the love of stories. So there's a lot of references to Alice in Wonderland and Narnia and Max from Where the Wild Things Are. There are so many beautiful references in this book that book lovers will love. Having said that, there were so many moments where I found myself really frustrated because I knew that things were not making sense and I could not figure out why. Not only is this a book that is an ode to storytelling and the love of books, it is also an ode to brokenness. There were so many quotes in here about being broken and so many symbolic references to being broken. And it wasn't until 2/3 of the way in that I sort of got it. It was not my job to necessarily understand everything that was happening. It's more of the message of trudging on through the brokenness to kind of make sense of something. And I thought that it was really poetic. There were quite a few quotes too that I really loved that I marked. Actually, there's a lot of lines in here that I kind of want to get as like a tattoo. And I'll kind of tell you a couple of my favorites. So this one says, "Who are the stars?" And this person, I'm not going to say who, answers Zachary back and says, "We are the stars. We are stardust and stories." And I love that quote so much. Here's another kind of example of how this is really an ode to brokenness. So Zachary is asking like exactly how to fix a story because something is broken within a story. So he says, "How do I fix it?" And then the person answers back, "There is no fixing. There is only moving forward in the brokenness." And I really feel like if there was one theme of this story, it was that. It's moving forward through the brokenness or finding art through incomplete stories. There's also another quote in here, I don't know if I marked it, that was like, "There is no real ending of stories because every ending is like a new beginning." So there are so many beautiful quotes like that. And I really appreciated that. So I will say that the thing that the Starless Sea got the most right was just this feeling and also the lush, beautiful writing and all of the different symbolisms in here. I mean, it was so magical to read about Narnia or to read about like odes to Narnia and odes to all of these wonderful, fantastic literary things. Another thing that I loved was Zachary went to a masquerade ball where everyone was dressed up as a famous literary character. I mean, if you love stories, you might absolutely love this book. But I will say that one thing that I personally struggled with liking is the plot. And the reason is because I feel like the plot is not the point. The point is the overall feel. Read this if you like the feeling of reading poetry, but if you want something to make a full amount of sense, you might want to skip this because I love weird experimental writing, and multiple times throughout the book, I found myself getting so frustrated because things were not adding up. One character would experience something, and then in the very next text, the character never experienced that. In one story, the character was one way, the next story, that never happened. And so the whole time you think that you know what's going on, and then Erin Morgenstern is like, that didn't actually happen. And then she's like, oh, these are the characters. And then the next moment she's like, yeah, those characters don't actually exist. And so as the reader, you're going, Erin Morgenstern, why are you playing me? I will say though, I still recommend picking this up if you love stories, because there's something about this book. There's something to this book that I think is worth exploring. And I actually really want to reread it again and see if I can get even more out of it the second time. And then finally, I read the first 5 chapters of A Castle in the Clouds. I did not know what to expect from this book. I'm still reading it, but you know what's one thing that's really cool? This is a funny book. There are so many funny and like lighthearted moments. It's such a perfect book for this time if you're looking for like a fast, fun read. I think I'm actually gonna end up finishing this hopefully tomorrow, but if not, definitely for the next week. And I really, really like it so far. But that is it for now, my friends. I think that is where I will leave you for this week. I have a feeling this vlog is gonna be quite long. I will probably spend all day and all night editing this, but I'm really excited because like I said, I had such a fun time filming and just such a fun week in general. And I guess I will see you the next and final Vlogmas. I can't believe it! Christmas is like in, what is it, 4 days or something like that? Oh my God. I literally cannot believe it at all. I hope you guys all have a lovely week, and until next time, book lovers, keep your head in the clouds and your heart in a book, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!
Hey, Santa, the city is covered in snow tonight. Where did my love go? Santa, I'm waiting for him, but he's